Andy Kaplan says the strongest part of his game is patience, and he's been playing for 9 years. Plays about once a week, and if he wins this, he's going to put it in his poker bankroll. I wish I was in a place in my life where I could win $100,000 and put it into my poker bankroll. If I win $100,000, I'll keep 3,000 of it for my poker bankroll. I got plans for the rest. And if we go to David Stefanski's information sheet that he filled out here, he's at Dave Stefanski on Twitter. I cannot tell what that says for his hometown, East something. But occupation poker, hobbies, sports. His poker goals are to win, which is about as straightforward as you can get. Those are my goals too, I just don't achieve them very often. He'll spend his winnings buying a house. Actually, it just says house. It could mean that he'll bring back the House TV series or buy all of the House TV series DVDs, or that he'll just hide the money in his house. It's hard to say, but probably it means he'll buy a house since he just wrote house. Could be a big pot brewing here. Kaplan thinking about calling this bet on the button. And a ragged flop. Seen a lot of tournaments end in these kind of situations with a draw versus two pair kind of hands. But not this time. Kaplan lets it go. Stefanski says he plays poker most days and he's been playing for 14 years. The strongest part of his game is getting it in bad and winning, but he hasn't gotten it in bad much today. He hasn't gotten it in much today. He hasn't had to see a lot of showdowns. When he did see showdowns, he was usually showing the winning hand to Andrew Dean. We're seeing a flop almost every hand now. That fast call from Kaplan was interesting, and then the fast check on the turn from both. I have to wonder if Kaplan was snap call, snap check, hoping to check raise to draw in a bet. Of course, I make that guess after I see him bet the turn rather than before, but I have to wonder that. Back to some chat from Twitch. So Andy apparently owns a telecommunications business. We need to get friendly with him in case we need some bandwidth. we're seeing flops and we're seeing bets and even calls, but the stacks are so deep compared to the blinds that this thing could still go a long time, even though these guys are really putting up a fight every hand over the blinds. It does change heads up when all the ICM goes away, and you're just playing for the 21,280. Current stacks are around 3.5 to 4 million, and 1.5 million maybe for Kaplan, something like that. It's around a 2-to-1 favorite for Stefanski. I'm sure Molly will give us a stack update before too long. And Stefanski has to let that one go. Might be finally a little momentum for Kaplan. Minutes left in the level. Stacks more even than they were after Kaplan just wins a medium-sized pot there. Two really strong players in this heads-up battle. And I think it's been long enough since they chopped that $40,000 difference into a $20,000 difference that now all they're thinking about is I'm playing for 20 grand, and they're both playing very well. Neither of them is going to give up. Chip counts from Molly. We've got 3.3 million for Stefanski, which puts about 2.2 million in front of Andy Kaplan. Yeah, when they did the save, stacks were very close. That's correct. We didn't really create a better stream than Foxwoods. We just added to their stream. All we're doing is taking their stream, adding things to it. You know, this is some, we specialize in this, and they specialize in running poker tournaments. So it's just finally getting people to do the things that they're good at. And that's our hope, is that we're going to be able to do this for poker rooms so they can concentrate on running the poker tournament, and we'll handle the broadcast. I did an interview around the second break, during the second break. The pro who had played heads up with Stefanski for 3.5 hours and said that was the record here at Foxwoods, and maybe these guys would break it, and it is possible. They might break that record. So we know Stefanski is very comfortable in heads up battles, long heads up battles, and I believe he won that one that was 3.5 hours long. So he doesn't give up either, no doubt about it. And Stefanski has made too much money in this game to be the kind of guy who would give up. So I think these guys are both going to fight hard. And the only way this ends real soon is if we get a big cooler.
I don't think so.
We're grinding this.
Yeah, we are. We're just.
I'm making sure he's tired from
exactly right. I think they're pretty good. We're both about. Well, he's got 2-7, but
Should we that?
These two look like they're having a good time, and when you've already locked up 90,000, it's hard not to. This is much sometimes tougher to commentate on heads up because the ranges are so wide that it's hard to list the whole range and list all the things that you have to think about heads up. I'm surprised at how quickly these guys are playing. They're doing a reasonable amount of thinking, but it's hard to play reasonably fast heads up because there's just so much to consider how wide the ranges might be and how your opponent will respond with different portions of their range to different bet sizes and how the hand's going to play out in the future. There's so much you can think about when you're heads up. I tend to play fairly quickly in full ring situations and a lot slower heads up. We have a pot brewing. Sizable turn bet called by Kaplan. Not a lot of draws out there unless he has 7-8. 7-4 doesn't seem very likely. So, you know. Did he have the 5 or the 6, or did he have the 8? Looks like he ended up making 2 pair. Nope. Just had a 6. So he had the middle pair and then turned the inside straight draw, and the 6 was good enough to win it.
It just pops in my head when you're not even playing it. It's absolutely no playing.
I didn't know about the overlay. This was a 500K guarantee, huh? That's very standard, by the way, to have the guarantee happen first and then pay the dealers out of that. The reason for that is that if you pay the dealers out of less than the guarantee, the dealers will get really screwed. If say you badly miss a guarantee and you get half your guarantee, you end up
get like a percentage or something.
Paying an extra $250,000, but the dealers aren't getting any piece of the larger part, where they're having to deal this event and they're not getting any piece of this guarantee. That's why they do that. I've seen people who think that that's very shady. I do think that it's a problem when they take things like trophies out of guarantees, but I think most places have stopped doing that, and I know Foxwoods doesn't do that. But the 485 plus the 15K for the dealers is what comes to the 500,000 and makes the guarantee. But they do the guarantee first, and then take the dealer money out of it, so that the house is in fact spending more money that way because the house is paying the dealers their piece as well.
You're in the 11th seed. Your chip went to the 18th block.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I call it trying really hard.
This is the guy that almost
They gotta show up. They gotta show up.
I wasn't almost here.
They got remember a deal, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. I was thinking you said 75%. That's fine.
I'm not reading. Things get fat while you're slow, right?
That's right.
It's on my account. You sure you want to take that deduction?
Yeah, right, exactly. Dude, I'm guilty. It's charged. That's why you have your own business, man.
There aren't people with more integrity, especially well-known East Coast guys, than Matt Stout and Matt Glantz. If they confirm it's standard, I don't even need to offer an opinion. Glantz knows as much about poker as anybody I've met. Stout is a great guy, a good friend, and super smart, and has been playing poker, I mean, every tournament you can imagine for so long, and a great player.
Wait, don't go! Don't go!
We need more fans.
So it sounds like they were 9K short and had to make that up on the overlay, and also the house didn't make any money. That 9K short is including all of the rake in the prize pool. So not only were they 9K short, but they were 9K short after it was rake free. That's a big chunk of money then. It's nice to be able to run these big events. Good for the house and good to bring in the players. And Foxwoods isn't going broke over 9K. So it's nice that they set that big guarantee, made it happen, got all these monster players in the room. That's why we ended up with a final table with something like $10 million in winnings. I should have gone through and added that up, but we didn't have time before the start of the broadcast. That's usually a thing I would do, is have everybody's Hendon Mob number and online winnings number. I know Andrew Dean was over $3 million in online and live winnings combined, and Roberto had quite a few. Stefanski has a lot. Kaplan has a significant amount as well. There weren't a lot of small numbers at this final table, and when you run an event like this, you get those big dogs to show up. That's part of the fun of it. And I'm sure Easter weekend did have a minor effect on that. Some people just will spend Easter weekend out of town. Looks like we're going to have a break in 5 minutes. So we'll probably make it to the 30,000, 60,000 level anyway. And you can see, if you've tuned in recently, on the upper left-hand corner of our screen, the scrolling payouts, all the people that have cashed already today at this final table. We only started the broadcast at the final table. There were more people who got paid. There were 13 people who started the day today. Production staff pointing out all the mistakes. We need more production staff. We need a production budget. It looks like Kaplan has eaten into Stefanski's lead a little more. He's won more pots than he's lost.
Yeah.
Stefanski's got a lot of big chips, and I think he still has the chip lead, even though his stack looks a lot smaller. But it's not as big a chip lead as it was. They're really fighting. I'm surprised there are not beers being ordered here. That often happens at the very end of a final table. What a fun event this was. I could do this way more often. We get some little better cameras in there and a little better computer for Molly to run this Twitch stream from, so we can do higher resolution. We could really get somewhere with this. Start to pick up viewers for purely entertainment value, rather than just people who are really into watching final tables or who are friends of these final table participants or who are big Foxwoods regulars and want to see things play out, but start to get people that we pull from Twitch that are watching video games and come over and watch these poker final tables because they're fun and there's a lot of money being given away. And we gave away this final table, almost $400,000 was at this final table that we watched people win today. That's a lot of money. A lot more interesting in my estimation than watching somebody get 30 kills and playing Halo or something. This is not digital, this is real money. While neither of these guys is starving, might not necessarily be life-changing money for them, it certainly makes life a little more fun to have an extra $100,000. Talking about the difference between a Camry and a Ferrari that somebody's winning right now. Both these guys, really. Thanks, Math Burns. Please tell all of your friends. Will you guys only be covering Foxwoods Mega Stacks in May? I don't know what the plan is there. We really don't know. This is kind of our first real test of what we're doing. It's not where we want the stream to eventually be in a month. We'd like it to be a lot better than this, but this was a good start and kind of proof of concept for us. We don't know for sure if we'll be doing the Foxwoods Mega Stacks in May. We haven't talked to them about it. My guess is that there's a chance we'll be doing at least one of those events, but I don't think Molly will be there for the main. I think she's already committed to do some other poker reporting. She's kind of booked up ahead of time because she's one of the premier poker reporters in the business, and so she is booked out. Right now she's booked all the way through the end of the World Series and has offers after that, and so we're really lucky to have her part of the business here. But she's definitely busy and won't be covering the main, I believe she said, of the Mega Stack series. So I don't know if we'll be doing the main event, but it's likely that we'll be doing at least a featured table or a final table of one of the other events. And I believe there's a PPC Poker Tour event in there, which might change things a little bit. If Molly's going to be around for the PPC event, I may head out there for the PPC event and do the commentary live, or at least do the commentary from here and see if we can improve the remote commentary option that we have. We do have an option for whole card cameras. We have a way to do that. I've solved, I think, a technology problem that no one else had solved yet, where I can show up with a suitcase full of equipment and outfit a table and broadcast whole card cams from the suitcase, from the suitcase worth of equipment, something I can travel with instead of trailering around an RFID table or a whole card cam table like the WPT has. But I'm not sure if that option will be ready for the Mega Stacks event, even if they wanted us to do that. We'll have to see how that goes. It looks like we're on break. About 13 and a half more minutes. So there may be an option for whole card cameras, but that's a bigger job, more work for us, will cost money for the casinos, and I don't know when that will actually be happening, so we'll see. I'm going to go on break as well, since we're on break. Molly may come in with an interview, so I'll leave the sound on for her. She may have one of the previous final table participants or another pro from the room or one of the tournament directors, somebody like that. And we'll see you in